Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. This is the RIP 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I am your humble host, Slaughter Sports Guy, joined by a few of my good friends. And as always, we start off with the president. What's going on, El Presidente?
What's up, everybody? Been a little minute, but we back in this thing. So, you know, C-Nez is in the building.
C-Nez in the building. On the other side, we got L Beezy the GOAT. What's going on, Beezy?
Man, it's Beezy the GOAT, man. Glad to be out on summer break, man. So I had a shirt that read Friday, tag parents, you're it. Love the teachers. So y'all got them for 2 months. Don't want to hear you crying. But Beezy's here. Beezy's here.
And in the bottom, coming back one more time, one more again, our regular one, S. Dot. What's going on, S. Dot?
Act like I never left. What's happening?
What?
Glad to have you back. I'm talking about, man, I know we can just feel the money floating through the screen with, you know, I should have said fresh off the jet, the PJ, you know, taking PJs to Greece. I called Shauna one morning. I called Shauna one evening. I said, hey, Shauna, I need you to answer a question for me. Phone went to voicemail. I was like, oh, shit. I get a text back. Fool, I'm in Greece. It's 5 a.m. I'm not talking to you. It was 5 a.m. when you called. I'm in Greece. Call me.
Sly.
I'm like, ooh, wow.
Hey, Sly, for all our broke watchers, listeners, and viewers, PJs, they're talking about private jets, not pajamas. Hopefully she took pajamas, but that's her choice. But we're talking about private jets for all our folks that didn't know. Right, it's not.
Oh, sure.
Hey, don't be talking about the broke listeners, because them is me.
Hey, you jumped in.
Broke people listen too.
Hey, you jumped in too fast because I was about to say it was I that I was talking about. It was us that I was talking about. But you know, we got people. Hey, we still got people that's eating salmon, so I have to make sure people know, right, Carl?
No, they're not eating that.
Yes, they are. They're eating salmon. I just heard somebody order it 2 nights ago. They wanted salmon. They wanted wood grilled salmon.
Hey, only grease I know is when I cooked that bacon for breakfast this morning.
That's the only grease. That's the only grease you know about. That bacon.
Yeah, that's about it.
I hear you. Man, it's funny, man. I know this is a little bit off topic. We ain't talk about it, man, but Memorial Day just passed and we was talking about grilling and cooking and stuff. Y'all boy put something on the grill?
Yeah.
All the time, every time.
I put something on the grill, man. I did. I gave my son the weekend off. I ain't on the grill this time.
Very nice of you.
I said I wanted to try something new, man. I want to try something new. I went and brought some ribs. You know, they're cheap ribs, so you know I had to skin all the fat off of them. You know, I had to skin the fat off the ribs. And I went and soaked them overnight. My own little special seasoning marinade soak. Right, I put them in there overnight, and I got my little smoker, my grill. Set them things on the far side of the grill, put that smoke on the other side. Hey, man, let them bitches cook for about 6 hours. Falling off the bone, baby. Hey, your boy is good, boy. Your boy know what he's doing on that grill.
You still got leftover?
Oh, you know it wasn't no such thing as a leftover.
He better not be still eating them ribs.
It wasn't no shit. Them ribs ain't make it.
Well, what I was trying to say is, you know, when the son cooked, you know, they eat them. But if it was still some leftovers, you know, it wasn't no good.
Hey.
Hey, he let you know they was
you know
cheap.
Cam was looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, he was coaching them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know he was right on the expiration date, so you know he can't let him sit too long. He had but one day. He had but one day to cook them.
That's why they were cheap. They were
That's
fast
exactly
and
right.
prime.
That's what that good fire do. That fire burn away all the bacteria. It burn.
Wow, but next time I'm in Georgia, Chance, we are not going to that food house to eat.
Hey,
We'll either go out or we'll cook at your house. One of the two, bro.
I got you.
Hey, when I barbecue, it ain't no sauce. You don't even need to put no sauce on my ribs, man. I get disgusted. Somebody say, "Is it any ribs with sauce?" No, we don't do that. Perfect.
You know, what is Sweet Baby Ray's?
Hey, you know, Sly like to take pictures. He ain't taking no pictures of those, so it's all folklore.
Oh, I got my girl. She took all the pictures, man. She took them. She got them some way, man.
Yo, what?
So
I got
Yo,
them.
who?
I got them. You know, let's get into our
Yo, who took
topic,
the
man.
pictures?
And don't let him slide. Don't let him slide.
Took the pictures?
Lot going on this week. Lot going on in the world today, man. Lot going on in the world.
Shit, we can't trust them ribs because we can't trust that girl.
We don't even know. That's a ghost as far as
I don't know what you're talking about.
He like old boy that played at Notre Dame.
Oh,
Tateo.
not Tateo. The
Yeah.
girl.
Not got catfish.
Not the original catfish.
The original. Hey, you know who the original catfish was?
The dude.
Michael Evans.
Oh man.
Like a choker girl, roller girl, or whatever her name was. She was the original.
Michael Evans got catfish.
And that reminded me of another thing. Florida Evans was the worst mother in history.
Yeah, we talked about it. She kept the family in the ghetto.
Florida had morals.
Well, check this out. She had morals, but then she's supposed to be so super religious. She go and marry a dude who was an atheist and leave her kids.
She had to go to Arizona because he had cancer. They had to go fix his cancer in Arizona.
She left her kids with an
atheist. They were grown when they moved to Arizona.
That's what she told him. That's what she told him. He had cancer.
Hey, this really hit Sly hard for some reason.
It do. Florida Evans really disgusts me. She really bothers me, dog.
He can't believe his twin would do such a thing.
Hey.
Damn.
Wait a minute. I need a side by side.
Slow down now. You got to Afro like Florida. Don't talk too fast.
No, that is Florence.
There we go.
That's not Florida. That is Florence's Afro she bought.
Hey, so she Florida. We're gonna call Sly Georgia. Georgia Evans.
He's a little bigger than that. We call him Texas.
I'm South Carolina forever.
Oh boy, y'all wrong
forever.
Y'all did my boy Sly wrong.
Man, a lot going on in the world, man. Jump into this Monique thing. Monique and DL Hughley, man. Man, in my mind, where is smoke is fire. Where is smoke is fire. Let's break down the situation. Let's start off from the beginning. For the information that we know. The information that we know is Monique and DL Hughley had a show somewhere in Detroit. It was in Detroit, the Fox Theater in Detroit. And then what happened, Monique believed that she was supposed to headline and DL Hughley ended up headlining the show. So during the show, Monique went on stage and started just to talk shit about DL Hughley and talk shit about his wife, about him being gay, all type of bullshit. His kids don't like him, his dog don't like, all type of shit. And she spent a whole 45 minutes on stage talking shit about DL Hughley instead of telling jokes. Now then they got into a little Instagram beef. DL Hughley was sending a what do you call it, a memo stating that he was supposed to be a headliner. Monique sent the contract stating she was supposed to be a headliner. And they going back and forth talking shit about each other on Instagram. Now, what y'all think about this shit going on with Monique and DL Hughley?
I kind of think she might have some mental issues, man. Like it's always her and somebody. So when it's you and everybody else, you got to find that common denominator. And if it's always your problem with somebody else, that means you need to look at yourself and see what's going on. Like she feel like she blackballed or something like that, but man, she's still working. She's still doing the job. I don't know what she thinks she's supposed to be. I mean, she's funny to me. I mean, as far as in the movies and stuff like that, but I ain't never seen a stand up. But I mean, she's a celebrity. I mean, but I don't know if she thinks she's supposed to be like Denzel Washington or something like that status. But take what you get and keep on moving.
I feel like Mike Tomlin. We do not care.
Well, here go the thing is right here, Chad. You said you ain't never seen a stand up. I think there's a reason you ain't never seen a stand up. I don't think she that funny. I don't see a stand up, and I just don't think. You said you ain't never seen a stand up. I don't think she that funny, bro. She not, and I hate to be, make it sound like I'm sexist or something, but name one Monique joke. You know what I'm saying? Name one stand-up joke.
Now she did do something funny when she was talking about the skinny women versus the fat women. That little portion was I saw.
Yeah, that
was kind of funny, but I mean,
when was that? When was that?
15 years ago.
Possibly.
15 years ago.
Well, you don't be mad with me. You asked me to name one of her jokes. You trying to give one of her jokes. That's what she did. It was funny. But I mean,
I never found her funny either. I thought she was aggravating in the Parkers. I hated that role. I never watched the show because, hey, that's ugly was so annoying. I never thought she was funny.
Hey boo.
I'm with Chance though. If it's always someone else, at some point you've gotta do some looking on the inside and figure out.
Oh Lord,
what's going on?
We got a special guest coming on.
A special guest pop up on the hotline. Now she done told us 30 times she wasn't joining the show. Then all of a sudden she popped up while we recording.
I don't want to see myself on there. I don't want to see myself on there. Y'all go ahead.
Is this an accident?
Must be.
Hey, but for real though, like you're saying, Shauna, man. Hey, she ain't at that status for her to be like trying to pull rank like that. I'm like, you think you blackball now? You keep pulling stuff like this, ain't nobody gonna want to fool with you, man. So,
but DL Hughley ain't the only one she talked junk about. Steve Harvey, Oprah, G. Daniels, Medea. Not Medea. His name ain't Medea.
Tyler Perry.
There you go. Well, he played.
But it seems like her issue though is with her manager.
Yes.
But it's her husband.
Thank you, Chance.
Exactly.
Yes. For letting me finish. Yes. It sounds like her issue is with her manager, who also happens to be her husband. And if you've got problem with the terms of a contract or how the promoters have you set up, you don't take that with the other talent. You take that up with your team who's in charge of setting the contracts, right? I mean, I don't know. I ain't never been in the industry. But it just seems like you beefing with the wrong person.
Mm-hmm. It's like Big Red. My office hours are from 9 to 5. Say it again.
But like Chance, you made a good point though. Every time you hear about a beef in the industry, it's hurting somebody else. So the common denominator may always be her. So you have to look in that mirror and eventually say, what am I doing wrong, or what can I do better to make the situation right? You know?
Like if don't nobody like you, something probably wrong with you.
Well, Sly went through that for a while, so he should know exactly how that feels.
Yeah, he trying to work on it.
Yeah, he getting better. He getting better. He getting better.
Everybody loves Sly, baby. Everybody loves Sly.
Everybody
Man,
hate Chris.
shout out to the people in the audience looking. What up, Natasha? What up, Natasha? Who is that? Penelope in there also. Shout out to everybody watching live over here. We kicking that live on Facebook.
What's up, good people?
But yeah, man, I agree with all y'all, man. If pretty soon you got to realize it might be you. It just might be you. I don't know if she'll ever realize that, man. I think what happens, what she believes in, you know, whether this is right or wrong. When she got that Oscar, when she won that Oscar, she believed that her price tag should have went up. I agree. Your price tag should go up when you win that Oscar, but your price tag should go up in your acting roles. I don't think it should go up in your comedy role. Huh?
But what you get the Oscar for? Is that Precious?
Precious.
Yeah.
Precious.
Now,
Well, here's the thing: you can't rest on your laurels. Once you win an award, you don't get the golden halo, like we call it in the business world. You get a golden halo, right? Where you got 1 year where you had a good performance evaluation, and every other year they're like, oh, well, we give you a good performance evaluation because you got one in years past. You have to continue to work on your craft, and you have to continue to choose roles and choose opportunities that are going to put you out there. Just because you won an Oscar, Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for My Cousin Vinny, and she's not won an Oscar since then, and she's not a headline. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't rest on your laurels and say, well, I did this way back in 2000, so still reward me like it's back in 2000.
It's entitlement. It's entitlement. She felt entitled to something that, you know, that wasn't guaranteed to her. But I'm gonna tell you what I thought was funny when she said, while you was an opening act for the Kings of Comedy, I was headlining for the Queens of Comedy. But I want to tell her that don't mean nothing either. Because look who he was on that look who he was on that bill with. He was on that mug with Ced the Entertainer, Bernie Mac. So it wasn't no slouches he was on there with.
Yeah, it's real deal.
And you know the funny thing, I watched the Queens of Comedy. She wasn't even the top 3 in the Kings of Comedy.
No, the Queen, no.
Who was in the Queens of Comedy?
Adele Givens, some more, and Miss Laurel.
Miss Laura from Comedy View.
Comic View.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and some more is funny.
Can't none of them touch some more.
Yeah, she go.
No.
More is real funny.
Yeah. Some more been funny since Comic View.
Hey,
Adele Givens tore it up.
Yeah.
Adele Givens is funny too.
So
she's such an effing lady.
Yeah, I'm about to say y'all say that every time y'all on the show. I'm such a lady.
She battling with Miss Laura.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Miss Laura to me is right there with Monique as far as being funny. Because even when she did her acting, she was decently funny. And when she did her comedy, she's funny. I just feel like she got a lane, but she's looking for a bigger part in that lane. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or overinflating her place.
Yeah, her work. Yeah, right.
Overinflating her place of where she falls on the spectrum.
I put it like this though, you know, some people got different plans, you know what I'm saying? Because what they say, all publicity is good publicity. So I mean, if she may be just trying to keep her name out in the streets so everybody knows, and she get more publicity off of that. I don't know if it's
but she's not getting the big payday. She's not getting the big payday she's looking for.
And that's what it comes down to. Yeah.
She was mad at Netflix because Netflix offered her less than they offered Amy Schumer. But Amy Schumer, I don't think she's funny either, but they do. People legit think Amy Schumer is funny, and she's got a loyal follower, and they spend money to see her. Y'all aren't the same.
You're gonna think Amy Schumer, she's selling out theaters and stuff by herself. Monique ain't selling out theaters by herself. Monique got to go on tours and perform in theaters with other people, and that's the difference. That's the difference. It's all about, I guess, when you're in that comedy world, it's all about putting asses in the seat. Who gonna put
Hey.
their asses in the seat?
We got a
Well,
comment.
her daddy can figure that out.
We got a
Like
comment.
I said, you Mike Tomlin, we do not care.
She said, Natasha Jones says she's a textbook narcissist, and her husband is too.
Hey, the funny part about it, before we
Yep.
started the show, Sly was talking about how he wanted to marry Monique.
You know what really,
I drank her bath for her.
Oh, wait a minute.
you know what really,
No, that was Sly said.
you know, I'm a lover of the big girl, but you know what really turned me off though about Monique, just besides her being a loud big girl, I don't like loud women either. But you know, she don't shave. That turned me off.
Huh? What you say?
She don't shave her legs and shit like that.
So how you know that, bro?
Because she talk about it. She show her leg all the time. She show all her hair and that yeah.
But you know, some men like that. I mean, that it's a lane for that.
And it's a lot of European women that don't shave.
That don't shave. That's right.
She ain't European.
What you call her? What is she?
She
American.
She loud. She a loud Negro.
She's a Black American woman.
She a loud Negro. But you know what? Y'all brought up something about entitlement and being where you resting on your laurels or resting on somebody else's laurels. And I guess that's kind of the next thing going on in the world is T.I., Young King, his son. He posted a video for those who ain't watching it. The young Harris posted a video of him at the Waffle House, kind of talking bad to the cook or whatever, being like he Mr. Billy Badass and talking bad to the cook. And he goes on the live or whatever. And you know, he cuts the fool. He act like a spoiled, entitled brat. On the live, he act like a spoiled, entitled brat. And then his daddy come online to defend him, I guess supposedly to correct him. And his daddy was like, in a way, kind of endorsing what he said. And I'm sitting up here, I'm like, bruh, you a suburb kid. You're not hard. You're not tough. You ain't no gangster. You talking hard to a Waffle House cook. And everybody know a Waffle House cook either two things. He either straight out of jail or fresh off a pipe. It ain't no in between when you a Waffle House cook, dog.
Or both.
Or both. It's like, yo, this man will probably whip your little, and he a little dude too. He a little dude. Yeah, they took his graduation photo and he was standing beside his daddy. This dude's shorter than his daddy, and T.I. ain't nothing but like 5'7". And he's shorter than T.I.
He said he 5'9" on this song, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I stood next to him. He ain't 5'9".
For me, Sly, what was so, I'll say off-putting, I think that's the best word I can come up with that right now, was in T.I.'s response. So they, people are like, oh, Tip, you gonna let your son, like, you gonna let this go? And he was like, no, we had a conversation with him. Me and his uncles talked to him, and we couldn't understand why he was going back and forth with a short order cook. And why are you talking to somebody who's at this place in their life? And I think what was off-putting for me was the fact that his response sounded like he was talking down on the cook at the Waffle House. And it sounded like you're better than this person, so why are you going back and forth with this person? Which I don't know, that's kind of sad that to me that you it's not the fact that your son is completely disrespecting whoever this is for whatever reason. And this person may have disrespected his son, but you're not talking about, like, don't go back and forth with somebody that disrespects you. You specifically said don't go back and forth with a short order cook. Like, you're talking down on this man because of what he's doing and who he is. And to me, that's low class.
So saying he too good to talk to somebody who work at Waffle House.
That's what I took out of his statement. That's what I took out of his statement.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, I don't get down with that, man. Everybody got a place in this world, man. Everybody got a place in this world.
Look, when I went to college, my daddy said, you make sure you make nice with the janitor whoever's cleaning your dorm, because you're gonna need some toilet paper one day. You make nice with the people in the dining hall, because you might show up without money one day and need food. Like you treat people with respect regardless of what they do, but you don't look down on people because of where they are, their plight in life. Like that's a weak sauce to me. That's real weak sauce.
I think everybody on here doing pretty good for themselves, but one or two decisions in their life, we could have been totally different, man. So it ain't like, dude, I could have been working at Waffle House and cooking, flipping up them pancakes and waffles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too much far removed from being in that same situation. So we all the same people. You know what I mean? I ain't never ever gonna look down on nobody.
He doesn't know what this dude at the Waffle House was. Because let's be like, Waffle House has a good management training program. Like people start working at Waffle House and become managers and own their own franchises. Like he doesn't know if this dude's an owner of a Waffle House or not. He's just talking down. First of all, and let's not act like the Waffle House scatter, smother, cover, chunk the dice. Don't be busting. So we're not gonna talk bad about the Waffle House anyway.
Yeah.
But T.I. set a bad precedent though, man, because instead of him coming over there and really chastising this child, he had a chance right there to really show his growth in leadership, and I think he failed miserably by coming on there almost agreeing with him. And then when he said a short order cook, said it by name, so to as in words to be demeaning to his job and his position. I don't agree with that, and I'm usually a T.I. fan, but I can't agree with that, right or wrong. I mean, it's right or wrong, and he's wrong. So I really didn't like that about T.I., man. Especially when people supported you when you was out there getting into whatever you was getting into or whatever happened in your situation, and people stood behind you, and that wasn't cool, dog, at all. And that'll cause you to get your head bust at the next Waffle House.
Now, Natasha said he was becoming a monster on that awful show. Now he's graduated into full monsterdom. Y'all ever watched the T.I. show? I never watched the show.
I did see some of it, but he started off like that. King started off rambunctious and talking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. King ain't done nothing. You living off your daddy name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his mama got a name too now. Don't do that.
You're right, but miss me with that. Like you've done nothing to establish yourself. So he hit the dude with the, oh, you know me and your mama know me too. They know your me. Stop it.
But see, that'll get his head bust out here, like I said. And he won't even be expecting it, because not only did you disrespect that short order cook, everybody else that's a short order cook is looking like, oh, so that's how you feel about me too. So next time I see you, I might have some side little special sauce to put in your
I was just thinking
smothered covered in your smothered covered in chunk.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, he can't go to no other. He go to another Waffle House, he gonna be in trouble.
But it ain't just Waffle House. It's
anything.
Plenty of other places that got short order cook.
Brad says Huddle House.
Yeah, you got Huddle House. You don't know nothing about that Huddle House?
He gonna be like, dang, why I always got the bubble guts? Every time I go out to eat, it's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, that's like talking down to everybody in the culinary industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I ain't nothing because I'm just that or the third. Yeah, that ain't cool.
That's weak sauce. That's
definitely weak.
And that brings me to a quick question. That this should be fast, but about tipping people like at the Waffle House and stuff like that. What percentage do y'all tip people?
I always tip 20%.
I tip what I would tip. I tip what I would tip in any restaurant, man, because they work just like everybody else. I'm like Sly. I always tip. Mm-hmm. And like Shauna said, anywhere I go with food and I have to leave my personal belongings, I want to be cool with them people.
Yeah. I always tip 20%. I tip on to-go orders too. I don't do 20% on to-go, but I do. I tip on to-go orders.
Yeah.
At least 10-15% on to-go orders.
I tip 10% on to-go orders because somebody had to make it. You know.
And somebody had to bag it up and put your silverware and put your extra hot sauce. Somebody had to do all of that stuff.
And my thing, like my local Waffle House, the one not too far from me, I go there probably every Saturday morning. I ain't gonna lie, every Saturday, every other Saturday, I'm at Waffle House. You know, so the lady know me when I call her up and I order my pork chop and egg with the egg scrambled and on that hunky bread, on that hunky toast. I go and get that.
What is hunky toast?
White toast.
Oh, come on, man.
You know where I got that from? That was on Barbershop. That's the first time I heard he said no Barbershop.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, you know, I ain't think tipping. I wasn't really big into tipping, like say in the 20s or whatever. But you know, as I got older and understand that these folks don't get paid a lot an hour, you know what I'm saying? So they money is on the tips, you know what I mean? So I started doing the right thing and take care of them.
Well, I think for me, I used to work. I used to work as a waiter. One of the million jobs I had was a waiter, and I was a delivery boy too. I was a pizza delivery person at Village Idiot, where I met Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's appropriate.
Where I met Hootie and the Blowfish before they was famous.
I agree,
anyway.
Shauna.
But anyway, so you know, I always at a young age I knew they wasn't making the
He
same.
was the Roosevelt Village idiot. So there's that.
Hey, he's not from Roosevelt Village. He's not from Roosevelt. He's not from where I'm from. He's from Riverview Terrace.
Riverview Terrace, baby.
My bad. He was the Riverview Terrace idiot.
You Hootie from Riverview Terrace?
No, Hootie.
No,
I don't
boy.
know
I'm about to say what? I'm about to say what?
And that man's name is the man Darius.
I only know him as Hootie.
That is me, his daddy black. Stop it.
Hey, all I know him as Hootie. Only wanna be with you.
I will not allow any Darius slander in my presence, man. You know that dude might be one of the most talented brothers in the whole world, man. Because you got to think with Hootie and the Blowfish. Now follow me on this one. Let me land. On Hootie and the Blowfish, they sold like 20 million albums that cracked real view. And then people started talking shit about him, saying he wasn't black enough. So he went and had an R&B album. And his R&B album went platinum. He was Grammy nominated, and he won a Soul Train Award. He had a big song with G.O.A.T on that R&B album. He had a big song with G.O.A.T on that R&B album. And now after he did R&B, he went and the man for the past 20 years has dominated the country music scene, bro.
Only you know about this R&B side of
Hey,
Only person.
Hey, check this out. Is it just me or does Sly seem offended? That man
like that's his cousin. Like that's his cousin.
Yeah, man.
Darius wouldn't know him if he walked by him in the street. What I don't ever care about is rich people problems. And Sly clearly does.
Now, Shauna, I disagree with you. I disagree slightly. Because if you see Sly, you never forget that mom, boy. And it's either him or Faison Love. You gotta know it's either one. So we know that.
I don't give a.
I don't care what his name is.
First of all, y'all tripping. I do. My man does knows me. He knows me on a first name basis. A first name basis. I go and talk to Darius Rucker.
Okay.
I talk to Darius Rucker on a first name basis. All right.
Tell it to somebody that cares. We don't. Keep the show moving.
Good job. Good job, Sly. Proud of you, man.
Sly, it looks like that R&B album peaked at number 43 on the R&B charts.
It went platinum.
Okay, but I'm just saying, this is why you're the only person on this podcast that knows it. And then on the Billboard, it peaked at 127.
It went platinum.
Okay.
It went platinum, so say what you want. He sold
Never heard of it.
Chance, that's because it peaked at number 127 on the
It
Billboard.
was on G.O.A.T label, that Hidden Beach label. Hold on, man. I'm gonna pull this thing up, man.
That's just like us saying we got 10,000 followers.
Hey, long as you got the numbers, baby. Hey,
We
you
made it. We in there.
We got the numbers, man.
Yeah, so you know we got them, but you know don't mean we cold like that. We working our way up.
Well, what about his country music? He done won multiple Grammys in country music.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about country. You said the man had a number 1 R&B and he peaked at 127 on the Billboard.
I never said, rewind the tape. I never said he had a number 1.
You said it went platinum.
I never said he had a number 1 R&B album. I said it went
platinum.
Hey,
you know what went platinum?
You sure you didn't say that, Sly?
Vanilla went platinum too, Sly. So like, let's not act like we go.
Billy Vanilla went like 10 times platinum.
Exactly.
Hey, CeeLo Green, with a Gnarls Barkley, CeeLo Green, he go and take that country spot right there. He can go do that. He go do country and rap and sing.
Sly act like he get a percentage of the album.
No.
Hey,
that man sensitive when you talk about his Darius.
He like,
But you talk about my Darius.
He like, y'all messing with my numbers, man. Y'all messing with my numbers. I feel though. It's all good, son.
Hey, the most talented dude we all know is Ivory James. That's the most talented dude I know.
Where that came from?
I just told you. You was talking about the most talented.
He's an artist. He's an artist, right?
He said we have.
He sing.
I didn't know Ivory sang. Ivory sang?
Yeah. Ivory can sing for real. Now, I no joke. I'm laughing, but I'm not joking.
I don't even know who that is.
He can play the piano.
Ivory?
Yeah.
Ivory James.
Yeah, you know Marcus Burton.
You said Ivory.
Yeah. Ivory.
Oh, I thought it said Alvin James. I was like, who is that? Chipmunk? he one of them chipmunks or something? Oh,
Put that drink down.
Yeah, you're right. Ivory is a real deal, man.
That dude talented for real.
I ain't gonna bullshit. I follow Ivory on Instagram just so I can see all his tattoos, everything he making, all them cover ups and stuff he be doing for people. The boy cold. I ain't gonna lie, the boy cold with.
I need to get inked up when I go home.
All right, Ivory James, if you're listening, you owe us some money for this promotion.
For this free pub.
What's the name of the tattoo shop? What's the name of
it? Absolute Ink.
Just give us $5.
Yeah, it is. My boy is cold now. My boy do pretty good.
He lit you up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
You know I don't have a tattoo.
Yeah,
we know why you can't see him. Why would you get one? I had to double pump that thing backwards. That's the same reason I ain't got one. I'm like, what am I gonna get a tattoo for, man? You can't see that on me.
Hey, the best thing y'all can do is brand yourself. That's it.
Chance got a brand.
Yeah, I got
Chance
one.
Chance ain't wasting his money on no tattoo. You gotta give it. You definitely can see the brand.
You can see that. You can see that.
Well, we don't see it.
One
more time for the people in the back, man.
People in the back. Hey, Mama Brown see my brain. she love that brain.
Hey,
you know the funny thing though, Chance is a stigma, but Chance, you are the most non-Greek person I know. Like everybody else who's Greek, they wear a shirt every now and then or something, a shout they frat out. I ain't never heard Chance say shit about being a stigma. His wife is 100% Zeta, and she's Zeta to the core. And the Chance don't say shit about being a stigma.
Yeah, I do. Every once in a while. You know, I represent.
Well, maybe because I ain't Greek, you ain't got no reason to talk about Greek around me.
Hey, Chance, well, show that brand one more time. Show the brand.
Cause Sly, I don't talk about it with you because I don't want you in my fraternity, bro.
You right.
Let me see.
You right. Hey, you right. I was cool. I ain't have to buy no friends. I ain't have to buy my friends.
I ain't have to buy my friends either, bro. Don't get it twisted, man. Hey, I was cool before Sigma, bro.
Chance, I don't know why you engaging Sylvester in this conversation. Those who don't know don't need to know. I don't even know.
But seriously, let me ask you a question. Seriously though, why? Because Shauna is a Delta and Chance is a Sigma. Why did you play it? Seriously, why y'all play it?
Go ahead, Shauna. You got it first for me.
Shauna gonna be serious. Chance probably something stupid, like I was bored.
So my very first experience with influential women happened to be Deltas. So Joy Holman, may she rest in peace, my double Dutch coach growing up was a Delta.
Double Dutch force.
Absolutely. And so I had the experience as a child that a lot of the women who were influential in my life were Deltas. And I saw the things that they were doing community service. They were giving back to their community. They were active and involved in their churches and in other civic responsibilities. And for me, that was influential. So I didn't need to buy friends, but what I felt was a kinship, and I wanted to be a part of a sisterhood. And I knew that joining Delta would open up doors and allow me to place myself in situations where no matter where I go, I have people who have similar interests and similar things that we find that are important to us, whether it be civic engagement or personal and professional development or physical and mental health, that I can reach out to wherever I am. And that's what Delta affords me the opportunity to do, among many other things.
Yeah. And I thought same here. You know, at University of Memphis, we were probably the biggest. When I was there, we were the biggest Sigma organization in the country. And a lot of my football player friends were Sigmas, and they were leaders on the team, and you know, people that were really respectful. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey, you know, I want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? So I got down with it. You know, because I was like, I felt respect for the people that was in that organization. And we had a good time. You know, we partied and did all that stuff too. But you know, they did good things in the community and all that stuff like that. And that was something that I thought that I would like to be a part of. You know what I mean? So that's
why you also have to take into account that Chance has probably been a Sigma longer than most people that you know. You know, so when you 20, 25, 30 years in the game, you're not as extra with it as somebody who just crossed, you know, last year.
I can't stand them people.
Because we've been in the game a long time. We're not neos anymore. So we don't have to wear it every day and say it, because you'll know that I'm a Delta when you talk to me. You'll know that I'm a Delta when I walk in the room, because I exude that.
I can't stand them 40-year-old women who play at something, and at 40 years old, they 100% whatever organization they are, and they are God. I'm like, great.
Don't do that, Sly.
That's on you, man. Because I mean, you know, if you got time for it, you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I got three kids that's got me every weekend, every other day of the week, running around, all that. So you know, I ain't particularly got time to put 100% into that. But you know, once everything settled down.
You don't know how long these women or men, because there are men who pledge late in life too, you don't know how long they waited for the opportunity to join this organization. And because it's now official, if it's been in their heart this whole time, of course they gonna act up when they finally cross those burning sands. Because they've been waiting a long time to be there.
And I am kind of disappointed that I didn't have more influential. I went more influential to Shauna that she would be a Zeta. You know what I mean? But
she not a lane.
Delta's hey dog. After the show, I'm driving over to your house. I'm gonna take it down.
And Chance, we were the same age. You couldn't have been influential.
Hey, I still could have been, but I wasn't enough. So what year you crossed, Shauna?
03.
03. So you graduated already, huh?
Yep. Anderson Alumni Chapter, because we were off the yard at Clemson. So I started undergrad.
Okay, so
and we were off the yard. So yep, I finished in grad chapter.
See, that's the good. That's the difference between us. I crossed in 2000, but 03, I was still in school. I ain't graduate that quick. It took me a minute, but I did it.
Look, that's because somebody else was paying for a chance.
I didn't have to pay for it.
You paid for it yourself. You'd have been out in 4 years.
I ain't had to pay for it.
When you graduated, Chance?
04. I had the baby. So I stopped the semester. And, I tore my ACL, so I was out of the semester. So I missed the whole year.
I had 2 degrees by the time Chance finished just one. Man, I had 2 degrees.
I was on my second one by the time Chance. God, no, Chance.
I got it.
That was in their 7 years, boy. That was in their 7 years.
When they get to talking, what do you call the man who graduates last in medical school, Chance?
Hey, doctor.
Call him doctor. That's all that matters, man. Hey, that's all that matters.
Well, just put out of practice in front of that doctor.
Hey, I ain't gonna tell you when I started. I'm just gonna tell you when I ended.
I'm gonna tell them when you started.
But it's interesting though for all the Greeks out there. It kind of make me wonder. What leads you to pledge and stuff like that, man. I'm just real curious because going to Eastern Kentucky, man, we ain't had no Black Greek life, man. We on our campus when I got there, it was 2 Zetas on campus, 2 girls who were Zetas, and I think it was 1 girl, she was a senior, she was a Delta, and there was a little Puerto Rican dude who ran around shouting he was a Q. But we ain't never seen it. But whenever we went to Kentucky State and we kicked it at Kentucky State, he wasn't never nowhere around shouting he was a Q. that was Black Greek life for us, man. So by the time I got to USC, I was like, shit, I'm too old to play it. In my mind, let me get up out of here.
When did you transfer?
My junior year, end of junior year. So it was like, so my whole thing was, I never got it. And I came from a family, my mom was a Delta. My mom was really into being a Delta when I was a child. When I was a little child, she was really active, but she got less active as I got older. And then my sister played undergrad. And when she was at USC Spartanburg, she played undergrad. Well, my sister actually denounced Delta. She denounced it. She's no longer Delta.
I remember that.
So she says it got something to do with devil worship and stuff like that. She don't want to be a part of that. I don't, that ain't none of my business. I stay out of it.
As you should.
Because our brother is the devil.
Yeah, well,
You showed it the wrong way,
man. Might have been, man. Check this out, man. We want to get into something real quick, man. We got a listener letter, man. Somebody hit us up. We want to jump into this real quick. Here we go. Dear Rip 28 podcast, I'm a 43-year-old happily married man with 3 kids. I've been married for 12 years. My wife and are good. So I guess it's gonna say my wife and I are good. But I have realized that I have never lived alone. I have 4 brothers and sisters, so I never had a room to myself growing up. When I went to college, I went straight through to get my PhD. I had the same roommate for my last 8 years in college, and I got married before I graduated. So I have never been alone. I am thinking how I would love to just have a place to myself. I don't want to leave my wife. She means the world to me. She is my rock, but I would just like to experience a place to myself. How can I tell her that I would like to rent a 1-bedroom apartment where I can go every once in a while?
Hey, you can tell her he want a divorce, because that's the only way. That's the only way he gonna get that. That's the only way he gonna get that, man. I'm telling you. Hey, we talked about this before the show. I've been in that same situation. I never been a bachelor, man. But when I sit back and think about it, that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, man. This thing. Go ahead. I ain't gonna get all into the details. But if I was a bachelor for a long time, you know, I probably wouldn't be married to this day. You know what I mean? So I think that kept me out of a lot of trouble. It made me gain more responsibility. I had to take care of my kid, and then I had another kid, and I had another kid. You know, so that's funny. He's 43, I'm 42, got 3 kids. You know, so it's almost the same situation. But I never felt that way. Like, oh, I ain't never been by myself, so I need to what you call on a sow my roll oats or nothing like that. that wasn't nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy where I am. You know, he just looking for a way out, sound like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, I'm gonna go the other way with it, man. I don't think he's looking for a way out, man. He, you know, judging by the letter, it seemed like he happy with his wife.
I hear you though. I can't be happy.
I think he just wants some away time. That's what I think. I think he just wants some me time.
Go to the basement, kick it in the garage.
I don't know, man.
Like you're gonna mess up your whole life and relationship.
Oh yeah, he definitely
trying to do all that.
He definitely about to mess up his life.
He didn't say he was smart. He just said the man wants some alone time. He didn't say the brother was smart. I think, Chance, you're in a unique situation, right? You did what you did because you had to, and because you had a family. So as a man, you knew that you needed to take care of your family. There are a lot of men that don't do that, but that's a whole other conversation. But as far as my experience, is so important. It was so important for me to know that I could live by myself, because I grew up in my house. My mom and my dad took care of me. I didn't have to want for nothing. I didn't have to worry about anything. Go to college, you have roommates. And the minute I was able to live by myself, I was like, oh, okay, so I got to pay these bills, and I have to. So you were doing that for a family, and I was doing that for myself. And at that point, when I was younger, that was an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for learning. So I was putting myself in a position where I knew that I would be able to take care of myself. And I knew I'd never have to rely on somebody else to take care of me, because I could do it, because I'd done it. I was having a conversation the other day with one of my student athletes, and he went to play professional soccer when he was 17. And he lived overseas by himself. His parents let him go. He went overseas, lived by himself. I said, how'd you deal with that? He was like, oh, I had to grow up a lot. I had to do my own laundry, and I had to make sure, I was taking care of my apartment and paying my bills or whatever have you. He said, when I finally came to college, it was different, because my peers had never experienced that. This was their first time away from home. They didn't know how to act. They wanted to drink every weekend. They wanted to act up. But because he had experienced living by himself and taking care of himself overseas, he had a level of maturation that his peers didn't have by the time he got to college.
Let me ask you a question. A kind of side note. You say he played professional soccer. How is he back in college playing college for?
So he was on a professional team, but he only got meals and housing covered. So they only paid his essential expenses, and he didn't get anything above and beyond what was necessary for him to live. So he didn't get paid additional money. They covered his housing, they covered his meals, and they covered only his expenses for living. So that's how he was able to retain his amateurism to then come to college and play. But he had to, it's funny because the conversation we had, he said, I had to get bank statements, I had to show them my contract. So he had to show them everything that this team paid for him to make sure that he didn't professionalize himself before he came to college.
Okay. Now back to the letter. We got a couple of responses in the crowd, man, in the audience. And one of them was Natasha. She says, why wouldn't a man cave work? Now, I'm only speaking, I'm just giving, what I would think for this guy. But what he is saying, it sounds like he's never really spent the night alone, away from anybody, just being on his own. And in a man cave, you know, you can just escape for an hour or two. What it sounds like, he wants an apartment to where he can just go to and live. I don't know, man. To me,
sounds like he's having a midlife crisis, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's
It
it.
sounds like he's now trying to figure out why he's happy. Look, this is classic case of I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want to be with my wife and take care of my family, but I'd like some time over here by myself so I can experience being a single man. Nah, player, you don't get that. Like,
he should have did that before getting. He should have did that before getting married, man. It opened up too many windows and too many ideas for you to be away from your family, man. And I don't think that's gonna be healthy for your marriage altogether.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like even if you had the best of intentions, like saying you got an apartment, you ain't doing nothing, but I guess playing PlayStation, playing NBA 2K all day long. At time. like she gonna come on, bro. She gonna think you got somebody coming over there. You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee you, if his wife said, I like to live in an apartment by myself because I never lived alone, he would put the brakes on that.
Yeah, for real. Come on.
Please miss me with this. Please miss me with this, sir.
Yeah.
Let's think out the box for a second. Let's think out the box. Let's think out the box for a second. What if he tell his wife, let's go and get this apartment, and you spend, like, let's say every once a month, you can spend 2 days in the apartment, and I spend 2 days in the apartment, away from all of us. What if he give his wife the same opportunity? The same.
She probably tell him that's a dumb financial move.
Well, yeah, you know, I don't know his wallet.
If she got any common sense, even it ain't about the wallet. It's just not smart financially.
What if they Airbnb out the apartment?
I was gonna say, unless you getting something in return for it to where you can, you know what I'm saying? You can make sense of that.
As Natasha Jones said in the comments, this appears to be a gateway to other things. And by having this apartment that we can both use, it sounds like your marriage is about to be hot mess.
It just opened up too many windows for me, man.
Pandora's box is about to be open.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my wife to have access to that because, you know, even when she away, just say she get lonely.
Shout out.
And you know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that's a good idea.
Shout out to my favorite cheerleader, my number one cheerleader, Misha, and dance partner, Misha. She says his alone time will come after the kids are grown and he's an empty nester again. Possibly.
There you go. Possibly. There you go. I agree with Amisha.
Well, I mean, that's a long
time. It's just too late in the game, though. You should have did all that before you got married, man. You should have been doing that well before.
You picked a fine time to think about. You want to be by yourself.
I'm gonna tell you something we really didn't think of. It's a lot of similarities with Chance. Chance, if you're in trouble, blink twice. If you're in trouble, blink twice, man. He blinked twice.
All right now.
First of all, Brian, you know good and well Tia roll up in this podcast, so you better stop.
Hey, not only will she roll up in this podcast, she'll roll up in a Colombian. I don't want to see TT. I'm just playing.
Jack you up. You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
Hey, T, I'm sorry, T.
She got a link.
Hey, my mama watching too. Look, mama, I don't want to fight no more. Like Martin said, mama, I don't want to fight no more.
Mama.
Knick-knack, pretty well.
Give a dog a bone.
Let me get a two-piece.
Hey, get to your point, man.
But you know, I mean, here it is. Now, coming from a guy who's lived on his own before he was married, and lived on his own after he was married. You know, it's a certain freedom to living on your own. You know, and it's a certain freedom that he never got to experience. Like Like shit, sometimes I wake up in the morning, I take a shower and fuck it, I just walk out the shower. You know what I'm saying? You walk, you free in your house if you know you're by yourself, you're free to be by yourself. You know, you're free.
That's me every night. That's me every night.
Thank you. If something out of place, you know you the one who put it out of place. You know when you put orange juice in that refrigerator, when you come back to the refrigerator, orange juice gonna be in the refrigerator.
But Sly, the point is, you can't unscramble that egg.
Oh no, it's
so
too late.
He should have done that when he had the opportunity before he had a wife and 3 children. At this point, you cannot unring that bell. So, sir, you either are in this thing or you're not. But you don't get to straddle the fence and say, "But I want an apartment."
Yeah, you can't start over.
No,
yeah, you can't start over.
Well,
I mean, he can, but he's starting over by himself.
Well, let me ask this question, and let me ask this. I gotta pose it this way so that I'm politically correct.
Oh Lord.
Now, why does he need this said apartment? Is he living? Is it a den of iniquity?
Is it a den of iniquity?
I'm just asking. Is he down low? That's all I'm asking.
But here's another thing. You know, I'm playing devil's advocate.
You good at that?
You know, one thing about the comedian, sometimes you kind of need a spot you need to get away from your significant other. Sinbad, the comedian Sinbad, has a interesting living situation. He married his wife. He was with his wife for 15 years or whatever, and they ended up getting a divorce. They got a divorce. She remarried another guy and was married for 10 years, and then she ended up getting a divorce. And then Sinbad ended up remarrying his first wife. Now, when they remarried, he had already had his own house, and he lived like in the same neighborhood that they lived in. So he ended up keeping his old house. And what he does, he says every now and then, he goes and spend the night at his house. He goes to spend the night at his house, not to cheat on his wife, but just so he can have a little bit of free time, you know, time away. Maybe that's what that dude want. I don't know.
Hey, that's rich people stuff right there.
Yeah.
We ain't got like that.
But we don't know. I like to believe that all our RIP 28 podcast listeners got it like that. We have an elite crowd of listeners. I like to believe that.
Keep hope alive.
I like the optimism. I like the optimism.
All our listeners hang out with Shauna C. They really.
Hey, we
so we just gonna skate over the fact that he was in Puerto Rico for a week. We just gonna skate over that.
Hey, let's talk about that.
Deep sea fishing.
I had zero recognition that this was going on. Hey, I ain't part of the crew, apparently.
Clearly, you left like the rapture, Chance.
That don't kick it with me. Hey, I see how it is. All right, so me, Brian, Ton, and all them folks, we gonna kick it, then. We ain't telling Sly nothing.
They going to Myrtle Beach without you, Sly.
I wasn't in charge.
Why I gotta be Myrtle Beach,
Why you gotta play us like that, Shauna? Hey, Brian, and we taking all the money out the RIP 28 bank account.
Hey, it ain't that you can say about it.
My last $2.
Hey, my wife was like, "Oh, they went to kick it in Puerto Rico. Where you at?" I was like, "Dang, you're right."
Chance, you were fifth on the list, Chance. You were right there.
Them folks don't fool me, I guess. You know, Swan, Paul Swan, you know, our coach, he was like, "What Chance is that?" In the post, didn't nobody even reply.
They was too busy fishing off the yacht, Chance. They didn't really have time to.
Yeah, I know it. Hey, I was like, dang, that's messed up.
I wasn't in charge of planning that trip.
I got a passport. I like to travel.
You don't even need a passport for Puerto Rico.
And then we were supposed to do a show, right? And Slav was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town that weekend. We ain't gonna do the show." Then I see some pictures today in Puerto Rico.
Wait, that's why you only had a show in a month?
Yeah, he didn't even tell us. He didn't even want to say it. He was just like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna be home for the show."
He said, "I ain't gonna be back in time. I won't be back to win." That's how they do you.
I like, man, you too ugly to be bougie like that.
Yeah, man.
All right, now you were, hey.
I was
Draymond Green. You see, Draymond Green and Kendrick Perkins got into it because Draymond called him ugly now. So you better go ahead. I want to see y'all on Twitter later, mad with each other.
Say, Big Perkins, you ain't nothing to look at. Nothing.
Somebody you ain't cute and you showed up ain't handsome.
Hey, Sly, we might need to start a Twitter beef. Maybe we can get some more people to listen. I'm gonna talk some junk to you on Twitter.
Chance, your hashtag is rapture because you got left behind.
Yeah, I'm hurt. I'm hurt, man. My feelings I'm devastated.
Hey, Chance told me. Hey, Chance say, "Hey, did you know about them going? Nah, I ain't in 97, man. I'll be mad if Anton them did something like that and left me out of 98, but 97, that's your beef. I ain't got no beef with them folk. That's your smoke now, bro."
Yeah. I'm up there. And Jawan too. Jawan. Hey, Jawan, every time something go down, Jawan tell me, "Hey, you know about this?" He ain't tell me nothing about this one. I'm like, dang, bro.
They iced you out, Chance. They iced you out.
Yeah.
Hey, they swore Jawan to secrecy, man. Didn't even sell out for you this time.
Hey, I wanted you in, but you ain't passed the background. You ain't passed security protocol. You got to pass the strict security protocol to hang out with a homeboy.
Well, how you make
it?
How did you make it?
Hey, I just known him since we were 3. I was grandfathered in.
This show ain't X-rated, so I ain't gonna tell you how Sly got on.
Thank you. Ew.
Yeah, please don't tell me how. I'd rather not know.
But back to our homeboy and his letter, man. My brother with this letter, man. We want to help you out, man, but you know,
don't do it. Reconsider.
Read some literature on the subject.
Cause here go the thing, bro. If you open this can of worms, ain't nothing good gonna come out of this, man. Ain't nothing good.
Yeah, for real. You're right.
Ain't nothing good gonna come out of it, man. Cause I understand you wanting to have your little taste of freedom or whatever. What I would advise you to do is go and rent you a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Go and rent you a hotel room every other month and just spend the night at the hotel room, man.
No.
But that's the same thing. That's the same thing.
No, that's a whole lot different than getting you a whole apartment, bro.
That's worse. That's worse. That's worse.
Man, you giving bad advice on the RIP 28 podcast.
But what he can do, but listen, I think it comes down, a lot of this, we don't know his relationship. We don't know the relationship he has with his wife. He says he's in love with his wife, and I'm assuming that he doesn't want to cheat on his wife. And my thing is, and the reason I say the hotel room would be safe is if you can go about it this way. You can tell your wife, you can say, all right, 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna rent a hotel room for Friday night and I'm gonna come back on Sunday. This is the hotel I'm staying at. When he check in, he can give his wife the hotel key. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, no. Why don't you say, if I'm following up this trash logic that you got right here in the words of T. Nesbitt, why don't you say, baby, you and the kids go somewhere so I can have the house by myself?
Oh, that is good.
I mean, if we're gonna do this foolishness,
That's
the best
good
way to
too.
do it is to send the wife and kids someplace. This is all just garbage. And this man needs to not think about this at all.
The first thing he need to do is cut that logic. You don't get no apartment, son.
You can't
Sir,
do it.
whatever you're doing, sir, if you're listening right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Seriously, don't do it, man.
Reconsider.
Read some literature on the subject and see how it leads to divorce. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It only takes one bad.
It's not even a good
one
idea.
bad decision. It only takes one moment of uncertainty, and now you like, hey, I can get used to this. And then now here come the other. You don't want.
Like, why would you even bring that? Why would you even open the door for this in your home? Because again, if the wife suggested this, he would have no parts of it. No.
Yeah, you're right. Because like, he's saying, yeah, I want to do this. But she's saying, I want to do this. Hey, he gonna be like, oh, nah, got me messed up.
No, you can't. You can't do it, man.
You can't win, man. It's a no-win situation.
No, it ain't winning or losing. It's like you done made this choice in your life, man. You can't. It ain't like, all right, let me backpedal and say, all right, let me get my own room. Let me get my own house. Come on now, you made this choice. You live.
How long you been married? 12 years. So he got married at what? 31? 31?
Well, I'm guessing he said he got married before he graduated with his PhD. So that's probably around 26, 27. He got married.
Yeah, he had enough time. He had enough time.
20, probably 28, 30.
He should have lived by himself when he was in grad school.
Yeah. But he had a roommate. Yeah,
I recognize that.
She said that he should have lived. So, but yeah, man, it's too late in the game, bro. If you happy like you say with your wife, stay with your wife and your family, man. It ain't nothing out here for you.
In the words of Teddy P, I think you better let it go.
Yeah, you better let it go.
Let's like another love TKO.
Hey, cut the lights off on that one, man. We all agree, let it go.
Cut the lights off.
So if you don't want to be married no more, go ahead and follow through with your plan.
Ain't nothing out here in these streets for you, bro. Ain't nothing out here in these streets for you.
Like Kanye say, go to bed, Joe. Go to bed.
I got some single friends, and they tell me that all the time. They're like, man, stay married.
Ain't nothing out here in these streets.
Ain't nothing in these streets out here for you. Ain't nothing in these
I saw a tweet earlier today. The dude was like, any of y'all think about leaving your wife? Don't do it. This out here ain't what you want. Don't do it.
No. If you got somebody good, man, go ahead and chill out and make it do what it do, bro. Don't go get that apartment because you're going to find yourself on the other side of misery.
And scene.
And
hey, I'm sending my wife the copy and paste of the podcast. I think she might get on for a second.
She gonna get it. Yeah, let me get on real quick and answer this question for us, man.
Let me get off here. Let me get off.
You know she gonna rush you.
No, she ain't gonna. She like me. She gonna always get on Sly. If she got to choose between me and Sly,
Sly's an easy target. Sly's an easy target.
Sly almost went my friend because of how he talk crazy.
Give him the business.
I'm like, Sly, man, you gotta chill out, dude.
Give him the business.
I'm like, I can't be your friend no more.
Should nobody be Sylvester's friend ever? I don't even know why y'all his friends. Like y'all feel sorry for him. You gotta feel sorry for him.
Okay, she coming on this podcast too fired up, man. She a little bit too fired up.
I've been listening.
Let's throw up the question. You been listening. Here go the question for us right here, just in case you
married. He ain't even happily married.
But the man
He's
started
lying.
off, he say he happily married.
He unhappily single.
He never been alone. He needs to learn how to meditate.
But he did say he did say he had a girlfriend, and then when Shauna tried to check him on it, he like, hey, next subject.
She is my rock. I want
to.
He needs to get a divorce. Like, you want to experience a place by yourself, you shouldn't have got married, bro. You shouldn't have. Meditate. You need to go and meditate. That's how you be by yourself. Go take a bath by yourself. Take a shower by yourself.
Like Martin
go to work by yourself.
Well, Martin say, woosah.
You happily married. Something, being a bath by yourself. You talking about you need a space for yourself. You taking money out your household to go get an apartment to do what? Be by yourself? Go sit in the car, bro.
He probably got that. He went to Sam's and got that big bottle of lotion.
And he said, "Go sit in the car. Go sit in the car
by yourself. You ain't happily married. There's something missing. You got you a chick on the side, bro. Whole apartment. You take this light bill, phone bill, cable, all this money you investing. That's trash, homie. And Sylvester, you know it.
She did the Kim Matumbo. No. Not today.
I went straight from my mama's house to college with a roommate to being with Chance.
Then you got that big daddy.
Take a boys trip. But what you going to get a whole apartment for?
Hey, so I was down for a boys trip, but then they showed pictures that they had one.
I know. Hey, Sylvester Slick lied, dude. I'm going out of town. When is Puerto Rico out of town? I said, boo, they just forgot all about you.
Look here.
I'm ready.
Training. Once again.
They didn't forget. It was intentional.
Yeah.
Sylvester is not your friend.
Once again, Sylvester was not in charge of planning the Puerto Rico.
You could have spoke up. You went. You could have spoke up. And you know what? Y'all didn't plan this in a month. This was this was a couple of months in advance.
Hey, Sly,
you knew about this.
You ain't got it like that. You paid payments on that trip.
This was a couple of months. Y'all knew about this a long time ago, Sylvester. You didn't even try to speak up for your boy.
It's all good, man. I still like.
You don't need to go on that trip no way.
But I know how to treat you. You said I ain't need to go. Hey, that's why I ain't got no side apartment. Because I ain't need to go. That's what you're
saying. We could trip right now. We could trip.
I understand.
We could turn this whole thing into a OH.
Slide give you the itinerary so you and T can go and visit our places they went to.
Hey, look, man, we gonna have a RIP 28 podcast trip for my true homies.
Man, I'm not going.
And all
I'm going with Chance, man. Chance, me, you, and Anton, and
John,
man.
Yeah, we gotta go on a trip.
Juwan can't go.
No.
Sylvester can't go. Y'all had their pictures on the big head, like the big head on the sticks, and have them in the background.
That's too close to him coming. Nope.
We gonna take my brother Tim Brown with us.
First off.
By the God.
Hold on, wait. What you got, Sylvester? Make it sound good.
This is the reasoning probably that we didn't that Chance probably didn't make it because we know the contempt that Tanisha has for me. So we didn't want Chance to have any fights, any arguments about going on a trip. We trying to save Chance's marriage. So therefore we said ain't no need for Chance to be fighting with his wife about going on no guys trip. So we just said ain't no
you know the old people say the more you stir shit, the more it stinks.
Hey, we ain't gotta worry about no women because it's Sly up.
It's funky right now, Sly. It's funky.
He's stuttering. The stutter.
Hey, look at that head. Hey,
stuttering a lot.
Sylvester Williams did not have anything to do with the planning of this trip. Sylvester was like, hey, I'm going. I just wanted to keep my mouth shut so I could make it.
Oh,
That's all.
It's like a good boy.
Like I said, I ain't got no problem with y'all going. It's just a problem when we was like, all right, we gonna do the show. We were like, yeah, I ain't gonna be back in town till when. Like,
I'm going out of town. You went across the waters. That's out of town.
It was slow motion too, because first it was Juwan and Dobie took a picture together. I was like, oh, okay.
He wasn't there yet, Chance.
I like them boys kicking it. I was like, all right. The next thing I know, it was Juwan, Dobie, and Craig and his brother. I was like, oh, they kicked it. And then Sly showed up. Then he was taking little pictures talking about, oh, my plane was late.
And then he posted first class only.
First class.
The N-word said first class only.
That's how I ride, baby. I ride first class, baby. I ride first class.
I'm gonna let y'all have this. Shauna, you keeping them in line. Sylvester know what he said.
Check this out. We about to cut it short. So stay on for this. We're gonna take a trip down the 90s block. We're gonna take a trip down the 90s block. We done been on this thing. We about past our time. But here go our question for the 90s block. What was the biggest one-hit wonder of the 90s between these two? Between these two. Damn, I just lost it. Just that goddamn fast.
Oh, hell.
Talking about
KP and Envy.
Oh, that's it. Swing my way.
Or Ghost Town DJs. My Boo.
My Boo. Oh.
Which one was the biggest
one? How you gonna try to separate me like this?
My Boo. It's gotta be My Boo.
My Boo.
You got sample of the music?
Nah, you know.
Don't get the flag out here.
What the DJ at?
My Boo came out summer '96. Summer before senior year. I remember it like it was yesterday.
We can't really play the music that long, you know.
Don't do it.
Because of YouTube and stuff like that. But you know it, My Boo. Which one you don't know on top of your head?
Boy, you should know that I've got you on my mind. Your secret is mine. I've been watching.
They brought that back for the young kids too. They brought it back for the little children.
Shauna, you should have been out here. We was on that karaoke earlier today. We was kicking it.
Can't carry no key.
We can't either.
I can't say it, but you can't tell me that. So as you come, man. But we gonna kick.
I'm just saying.
But we gonna
kick. You sleeping in the garage. You sleeping in the garage, Sly.
You sleep on the couch with one eye open.
But we gonna kick you out.
It's first class, baby. On the first class only.
No,
it lay all the way out.
That's only for flight.
No, it's got to be first class for him anytime.
But I'm gonna go with
his life ain't always first class. Trust me when I tell you.
First class, baby. First class all the way. All right. Let's answer this question now. Which one? We start off Carl. Which one?
My Boo.
My Boo. Shane, what about you?
Same thing. I'm good with My Boo.
Shane,
that's my thing.
It's My Boo, dog. Easy to me.
What about you, T?
It's My Boo. I was trying to buy out and let Shauna keep hitting that switch on y'all. She holding it down for the women. It's My Boo.
I'm gonna go shut it swing my way. I gotta be different.
Of course you will.
I gotta be different. Shut it swing my way. But you know what though? You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
That's the best thing you said all night.
They were hits.
You can't go. Who that Venice sitting up here talking My Boo? My Boo. Venice said My Boo.
Hey Venice girl, My Boo.
In the crowd. But yeah, man. Well, check this out. That's the 90s block, man. That's the 90s block. You know, every now and then we take a stroll down the 90s block. Well, check this, man. It's been another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast. Hey, we got any parting shots? We start off with the president. El Presidente, anything you got to say?
No, I'm good, man. Hey, everybody live and love and do your thing up in this thing. You know, CNA's in the building as always. Hey, glad to have everybody on the show. It's been a minute. You know, we got to make sure we get up. You know, we got to. I'm finna call a couple people out because we have multiple members of the show, and some of y'all may not know that
Say that
because
word again.
they don't never get on. We got to get them folks on.
Look at
Anton, James, hey, Juwan, he unofficial member, but you know he get on more than them. So y'all boys, hey, let's keep this thing going. Holla.
All right, bro, you got any parting shots, bro?
Man, it's the summertime. Y'all be safe, man. Let's rally together and stop this gun violence. We're starting to lose too many young people, man. And it's starting to affect everybody everywhere. Mass shootings. Let's learn to be happy, man. And once again, I'm gonna steal from Shauna. Let's love on our people, man, and let's try to change this as soon as we can.
What about you, Cobb? Any parting shots, Cobb?
Well, as Brian said, I always say, love on your people. Life is so fleeting. It's really important to make sure your people know that you care about them. It's also summertime. Water safety is important. Make sure if you're out in the water, in the beaches, in the pools, in the lakes, that if you don't know how to swim, you're wearing your life jacket. If you are in the water is safe. Water safety is so important. We don't need to lose people. We don't need to lose people unnecessarily. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your people. And let your folks know you love them, man. That's what's up.
What about you, T? Any parting shots for you, T?
Peace and blessings, y'all. I hope I don't have to make no pop-up for you talking crap, Sylvester. Don't do that.
Hey, I ain't say
But
nothing
now-
about Zetas. I wanted to say a lot.
I'm glad. Good job.
I kept my
Peace
mouth
and blessings,
shut.
y'all.
Kept my mouth shut. All right, man. It's been another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about it on the RIP 28 podcast. Now, here's the thing. It's the summertime. It gets hot here in Atlanta. So make sure you're wearing clothes for the body that you have and not the body that you want to have. Hey, we'll see you next week on the RIP 28 podcast.
No hoochie daddy shorts. No hoochie daddy shorts.
Sly is talking about himself.
Fly, keep them thighs put away.
Hey, I'm sexy, baby. I'm sexy.
Hey, we went to a concert and I seen a bunch of dudes with some booty shorts on.
That's the hoochie daddies.
It's all about this sexy. I'm putting all this sexy this summer.
I was like,
Don't
what
blind
are
the
we
people.
doing? What are we doing?
You're not blind to people. Don't blind
Please
people.
don't wear
All
hoochie
this
daddy.
sexy all summer long. Holla, RIP 28 podcast.